What does that mean?
Not sure.
I don't either.
That's the boss.
Oh, that's right now. The other boss, fresh off his wonderfully award-winning show each morning, Monday through Friday in Houston, Texas. The one, the only Sean Salisbury. Good morning, Sean.
Good morning. How you guys doing today?
We're good. Happy Halloween. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Happy Halloween. Thank you.
Just first and foremost, because we're going to get into Niners and Raiders, obviously, but it's an ex-team of yours. I don't know how much, I honestly don't know how much you still watch or hold on to them in your heart, but as a fellow quarterback, as a fellow NFL quarterback, Kirk Cousins, man, he was having such a great year, and I think, I personally believe, Sean, injuries should be a federal crime, outlawed.
Yeah, I'm with you, especially that one, Achilles. You know, I'm on in Minnesota every week, and I follow them. I mean, I'm not on their payroll, so it's not like I'm still a Raider fan and will always be a Raider fan, but I root for players, and of course I root for their organization because there's still people there. But you know what? He was playing phenomenal football. And in truth, I was talking about this with a friend yesterday. I really, guys, I really don't get how he hasn't won a lot in January.
Yeah.
I know he puts up a lot of numbers. Dave, I've seen a lot of Kirk Cousins football the last decade, and he is really good at throwing the football and really dynamic during the regular season and doing it. Then you look at the numbers against good teams and the win-loss, and you're like, okay, it's a team game. Do we blame it on the quarterback? Some people we do, some people we don't. Yet I look and think, well, where are the Vikings going to be without him? He is he's a damn good player. And look at his numbers. Well, if he won one Super Bowl, his numbers are going to be Matt Ryan or even better, than Eli Manning. They are when it comes to statistics now, to Super Bowl wins and that. I'm just thinking about names that haven't won a Super Bowl that put up numbers. I'm thinking, damn, this guy can play. And I believe if he was on the Jets or one of those teams that's on the cusp, I honestly believe they're a Super Bowl caliber team. Yet, who is he in January? So the injury sucks. The guy's a great competitor. I think people gained a lot of respect for him when they saw the quarterback show, that quarterback show with Ian Mahomes and Marcus Mariota. He knows how to play, man, and he's one of the best throwers. And I thought he was playing about as well as any quarterback in the NFL when he got hurt. His numbers, he's accurate. It just hasn't translated into January wins. But is that him, considering the fact that his defense that he's been on hadn't been very good? I wish him a quick recovery and to get himself healthy again, because he is really a good football player.
Sean, I know we'll get into the 49ers, but do want to ask you about the Raiders since they played last night. They never had the ball. When they did have the ball, they didn't do enough with it, couldn't protect Garoppolo. He couldn't make the throws. They just looked like a mess last night. What's the solution for this team right now?
Maybe fire sale it. I'm being a bit hyperbolic with that, but, they cannot, when it comes to the quarterback, we've talked about Jimmy ad nauseum in the past, and it's obvious when Jimmy's on a good team, he can be part of the deal. I mean, they got to a Super Bowl in San Francisco with him. He can't carry you. He's just not good enough to load you on his back like your top 8 to 10 quarterbacks and say, for 2 or 3 straight weeks, I can do it. He fits into the puzzle. But if you need a big piece of the puzzle, he's not it. Jimmy can't go to a bad team or an average team and make them great. Jimmy can go to a great team and keep them pretty good, but he's not going to, oh my gosh. And I have a lot of respect for him. I thought he played well in San Francisco, probably deserved far more credit than he got, but it's just not, I don't know where Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be as a starter. It's time to make a change, and it's time to see what Aiden O'Connell can do, because you're not getting where you want to go. But I don't know if it's going to help, because they don't block anybody. They seem to be playing a little bit better on the defensive side of the football. But when you can't protect your quarterback and he's not the most mobile guy and he doesn't have the strongest arm, you're on a chase mode the whole time. At some point, whether it's Aiden O'Connell or somebody else, you're going to have to make the switch. And I'll be honest with you guys, I just think the leadership in the building, I think Josh McDaniels is a hell of a play caller when he's got great players to call it. But I just don't think that he elevates the room. And while I know he can call plays, some guys just aren't cut out for the coaching job. And right now, he just doesn't seem to get the most out. You got to have buy-in. And maybe I'm wrong, but there seems to be a group or a handful that just don't seem to buy in what they're doing, or they're just not very good. And they've got good players at certain positions, but the overall, the whole, the sum of it all, the parts are fine. The sum's not very good. I think you'll see quite a few changes with the Raiders between, I don't know about now, but by the time the season's over, quarterback and head coach may be both of them.
Sean Salisbury with us. All right, my Niners, 5-0, annihilated the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday Night Football, and a lot of people were talking about, whether it's 17-0 or 16-1, 15-2. They go into Cleveland, tough game, lose. They go into Minnesota, tough game, they lose. Cincinnati just came in and spanked him. Joe Burrow had one of the best games of his career. What's going on here, Sean? What's going on with my Niners?
Two things that stick out now. I always laugh. I was talking about on my show this morning how the urgency we get to criticism over. I mean, right now we want to put Will Levis in the Hall of Fame. Mm-hmm. Brock Purdy can't play. Kyle Shanahan doesn't know how to coach.
Yep.
The 49ers defense is Swiss cheese. Dak Prescott's going to be the MVP. I mean, you start to go. It's like, oh my gosh, this is craziness. But that's how we do when we do. And you guys know what I'm talking about when it's like, we want everything done now. We want everybody to be the best all the time when you make a mistake. Listen, two things that stick out to me for them. One is they are not playing great defense for whatever reason. This defense, at times they have trouble getting off the field. Now, Joe Burrow and that offense are now, you would have liked to get those guys 3 weeks ago, a month and a half ago.
Yep.
That last Sunday, and I'm not quitting on this. I'm not waffling. I still have the 49ers. I have the 49ers in the Super Bowl with playing the Bengals. And it would have been how many people quit on the Bengals the first 3 weeks of the season? And Burrow can't play. He's injured. Let's chalk it up. I even heard somebody say, let's shut Joe down for the rest of the year. Wow. I heard that.
Wow.
Like, come on, man. So there you go with that, and now they're back at it and playing great football. The 49ers are going to be fine, but it's just not it doesn't feel as comfortable. You can't turn it over. Brock Purdy's numbers have been good, but turnovers have killed them the last couple of weeks, and they can't get off the field defensively. Those are the two things that stick out, and they're not dominating. And I'm telling you, Deebo Samuel on the sidelines makes a world of difference in how you game plan the 49ers. So let's stop with the Brock Purdy can't play crap, that Kyle Shanahan can't coach, and let's get to the point, get them fixed. They will fix it, but they better fix it fast because 3 in a row doesn't sound good and 4 in a row sucks. So I still believe the 49ers will be fine. We go through this with them, it seems, every year where it's like, what happened for a couple weeks? And they inevitably end up in a position to take care of their business. Purdy's a starting quarterback, and he should be, and the 49ers will be fine. But it's looked awful ugly, and you can't – this league's too good, and especially when you play Joe Burrow in that group, you put the ball on the ground or you throw it to the other team, you're going to have trouble winning.
Sean, I want to ask you about that with Purdy because I think we all have watched a game before and put in whatever quarterback. We go, what did they see there? How did they throw that? How did they not see that guy? You played the position. These are mistakes he hasn't really been making. So what do you see from him that has kind of led to just a few more mistakes than he normally does make?
That's a great point. I've said, and I'm on record, and I'll continue to say, the greatest thing for him has been he's got great football IQ. He's tough, sneaky athleticism to make. You saw him run and scramble down the left sideline. He can do that. I'll tell you what's been great about him is he always makes the ordinary play. He's missed some ordinary play, and it started in Cleveland. He missed a touchdown pass. I think it was a corner route where you're like, Brock Purdy doesn't usually miss that throw. And it's kind of permeated through the offense the last couple of weeks for stuff that he normally makes. He's still been pretty accurate, but he's missed some throws that I don't normally see him miss. And what happens is you also start to get in your own head. I don't know if it's the case with him because he's a tough kid, but then you start to believe what people say, well, he's not spectacular. Well, see, and what happens is you start to try and force the hero play. And I think there's a little bit of that going on because he's not spectacular like Mahomes. Yeah, well, who is? Well, he doesn't have the arm that Josh Allen does. Yep, but who does? So where Brock Purdy needs to live, you remember the movie, Hitch with Kevin James and Will Smith?
Yeah. When
he's dancing and he says, dude, just live right here.
Yeah.
This is where you live. Brock Purdy needs to live where Kevin James lived. Make a spectacular play naturally. Don't force it, but make that ordinary play. That's an ordinary dance that we see every white dude from Iowa doing on the dance floor, right? Like Kevin James. And then letting somebody else, dude, don't try to get out of your comfort zone. You'll get out of your comfort zone when necessary, but if you make the ordinary play, we will win. That's what I want Brock Purdy to live. And it will get better. But I also think you can get to a point you start to press. It's like a hitter who's usually hitting fastballs. Now he's late. But what am I doing? Get back to accurate, make the ordinary play. You do not have to prove to Twitter that you can throw the ball as far as Will Levis. And the narrative is always going to be this way on him, guys. Think about this. As the last pick of the draft, imagine now if Purdy – think about what they're saying about Will Levis after one game. We love a big, physical, strong-armed hero guy, right? Levis is going to have a game where it comes back to earth. So it's a lot of the stigma of, well, he was the last pick of the draft. He must not be good. Brock Purdy can play football. Too many people have seen it. But what happens is you can't get out of what you do best. And what he does best, the ordinary thing. The rest will come.
Real quick, Sean, we're out of time. Best Halloween candy.
It's not even close, dude. This is easier than Brock Purdy making the ordinary play. It's frozen Reese's peanut butter cups.
Oh.
I freeze them before I hand them out so they get home and get them. But for me, get them to me. I put the Reese's peanut butter cups in the freezer. It's Reese's peanut butter cups, and then everybody else, the Kit Kats and everybody else come in after that. Reese's peanut butter cup by a mile.
I'm looking at the judges, and they say you are
approved,
absolutely correct,
yeah.
Sean. That is the correct answer. Congratulations. You've won a guest spot on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross next week at 8:13. We
Can't wait. Can't wait. Hey, that's appointment guest by me, not listening.
Right.
But it's appointment for me. I'll be here, guys. So, happy Halloween to all you guys, man.
You too,
Thank
brother.
you.
Talk to you soon.
Thanks. Okay.
That's Sean Salisbury. We'll take a break. When we come back, we got UC Davis football tickets to give away.